Hi everybody, this is Nina Mandelson. I am so excited. I am so thrilled to have you in my kitchen. This is Nina Mandelson from ninamandelson.com and the Nourished Woman Nation. And honestly, there's nothing that delights me more than to inviting women into my kitchen. I hang out in here a lot. Because it's sort of the center of our house. This is where we cook, it's where we hang out, it's where we do our eating. And I know it's an important place for you too, because a lot of our nourishment comes from in our kitchen. And if it doesn't, if we're eating out a lot and getting our nourishment from out there, it's time to bring it home. Because when we do feed ourselves from our own fridge, from fresh produce, from things we've made, we feel more enlivened. I am a huge believer in high quality eating, in delicious eating. I am not a believer in dieting. I believe that women need to feel nourished. They need to feel well taken care of. And that is on many levels, but tonight specifically, we're talking on the food level. So it's one of the things I talk about a lot in the Nourished Woman Nation, which is a group of women that I guide. But one of the things we talk a lot about is this nourishment dynamic, this idea of there's 3 levels of work that we need to do to feel truly nourished in our life. So the first level being food, second lifestyle. How does it show up in your life? All these great food ideas. And the bottom foundational level is mindset. How are we thinking about nourishment? How are we feeling about ourselves? How are we feeling about our food and our body? So tonight we're really focusing on the food level, right? We're going to talk about green smoothies, and then we're going to get down into the lifestyle level. Lifestyle is how do you make it happen? Because a lot of people, you know, at least in my sphere, know that I'm a huge green smoothie fan, and they go, you know what, Nina, I totally a fan of green smoothies. I even got the greens into the fridge, but not happening. I'm not actually making the green smoothies. So that's why I wanted to create this particular event for you, which is to guide you on how to set yourself up so that there are green smoothies for you ready to go every single morning. And we're going to get to that in a second. But just in case you don't have your green smoothie starter kit yet, I can connect you with a link, right? It should, if all is going well in the technical world, it should be showing up right next to you. It's the link to the Deluxe Green Smoothie Starter Kit. It's a beautiful ebook with lots of recipes and lots of tips. And there's one specific tip that we're going to dive deeply into in that ebook. There's many tips, but the one that we're really getting into is set yourself up ahead of time with green smoothies, right? Get them all packed up, ready to go. So that's what we're going to do in the next little while that we have together. And I'm excited because I got a lot of different ingredients to talk about and how to create variety. Because I know I was like the same green smoothie for years. And I didn't get sick of it, but I hear from other people, you know, I get a little tired of my green smoothie. I need to mix it up a little. So I've got some fun, different ideas and one green smoothie that I've been making a lot of recently. So first, I want to tell you why green smoothies. So one of the things that we are missing the most nutritionally are greens. Greens are high nutrient-dense food. It's like our body kind of soaks it all up. One of the things I talk about a lot is like greens are green because of chlorophyll, right? So how do they get that chlorophyll? How do they create that chlorophyll to be green? It's the energy of the sun. So if you think about it, when you're eating greens, you're eating that sun energy, right? How powerful is that? All that energy of the sun into your body. You know that saying, we are what we eat? True. It's really true. When we take in food that is high vibration, high nutrition, nutrient dense, then that's how we feel. right? So I always think about food. I look at food and I go, do I want to feel the way that food looks, right? So do I want to feel the way a frozen old bagel looks, or do I want to feel the way that these beautiful greens behind me look, right? Vibrant, exploding with energy, crisp, juicy, right? That's how I want to feel. So that's what I want for you as well. So green smoothies, absolutely, I'm a big believer in putting them in because they give our bodies so much. And there's one thing that I've found over and over, working with hundreds of women in my Nourished Woman Detox, in the Nourished Woman Intensive, is that when they start adding those green smoothies in, cravings drop away. It's amazing. And that's why I want to really get you started on this green smoothie habit. And if you want more support, absolutely, I'm here. I have this amazing Nourished Woman Nation. Let me actually be all techie here and show you that one too. I have a link for that. So you can click over and check out the Nourished Woman Nation if you want. And it is a fantastic experience of a group of women. And we talk once a month and we get right into your questions so that you're feeling supported in an ongoing way, right? And that's what I really want. I believe that women, when we feel truly supported, we actually can make those healthy choices that we know about, right? We're savvy at this point in our lives. We know that we should be eating more greens or drinking more water or, you know, not eating sugar, not eating refined carbs. We know it, we get it. We've read the blogs, we've read the magazines. I know you are smart and capable and know this stuff. It's not the knowing that's the issue. It's the doing, right? So we are on a over information diet in our culture. We have so much information, but we have to take that information and internalize it, right? It's almost like eating too much food, right? You can't digest it, your tummy feels all wacky. It's like that with the information in our culture. Too much information, I can't digest it. I can't make it happen in my life. Right? I can't get it to work on that lifestyle level that we were talking about, right? Food, lifestyle, mindset. So today we're talking food and we're talking lifestyle. So I really want you to jump in to this green smoothie habit. And the other thing I want to tell you before I walk away from the computer and I can't reach it anymore is, so I told you about the Nourished Woman Nation. The other thing I want to tell you about is if you want to continue this conversation after, I want you to step over to this special Facebook group, which is going to help you just connect with other women who are on this webinar, who are listening, and also other women who are interested in this way of living, right? Which is not about willpower or trying to get it right. It's really about being nourished. It's about feeling good in your body. It's about having pleasure in your body, with your food, in connection. It's about relationship with your body. It's a really good thing. There's a French saying, you might have heard me say this before, that I absolutely love. It's je me sens bien dans ma peau. I feel good in my skin. And I have to say that that is a truly guiding force in my work with women. Because I know we can feel good in our skin. And I know it because I didn't feel that way at all, right? A lot of my years, I was carrying unwanted weight. I was judging myself. I was feeling crummy. I was craving sugars. I was craving carbs. I didn't feel good. And I did this work, the work that I am doing in the world around helping women feel nourished. And then I was able to step into feeling good in my body, feeling good in my skin. So that's what I want to help you do. Okay, so let's get rolling with the green smoothies. All right, so I'm coming back here, and I have my green smoothie with me, of course, and I've got a bunch of containers. So this is the first thing in setting up your green smoothies for the week, is you need containers. Now, I'm a big fan of glass. I really like glass because it doesn't carry the toxins that plastic does. So plastic carries a lot of BPA and all sorts of other toxins that I'm sure we don't even know the names of yet. So glass, I love to go with glass. If you don't have enough real estate in your fridge, because it takes a fair amount of real estate, right, to do, let's see, 7 of these glass containers. If you don't have that real estate, you can pack up your green smoothies in plastic bags. That's totally doable also. Now, one trick you're going to see me do right away, and this is important when you're packing up your green smoothies. So right here, I'm going to do it in glass, but I do want you to know you can use plastic if you don't have the real estate in your fridge to put all your containers. So I'm going to toss that over there for now. So paper towel. Again, usually I use cloth, but for this I keep paper towel around because it's your friend against green smoothies going slimy. And it's your friend actually with most vegetables going slimy. So have you ever bought fresh herbs? I do this a lot, right? And we're going to talk about this. I have mint and I have basil. And what happens is they sit in the fridge, they go, you don't use them for a few days, and then you open and it's slimy. Same with spinach, right? So where's my spinach? Here. If it's you buy it in a bag or you buy it in a box, or even if you buy it just loose and bulk, when you don't use it for 4 or 5 days, it starts to get slimy and disgusting. So the thing we want to do before we even start is lay down a piece of paper towel in each one. And what that's going to do is absorb any extra moisture. And that's going to keep this going for the whole week. So here we go. We're going to put that in there. And then we start to build our green smoothies. If you're, same, you want to do the same in every single one, no problem. We're going to mix it up a little because I want to talk about the different ingredients. So one thing I want to say, before we get going with this, I want to tell you what I blend the green smoothie in, actually. So that's in my Vitamix. This one actually has a green smoothie in it because I made it just before we started. Because we're not going to blend, otherwise I'll blast your ears off. So this is a Vitamix. I love my Vitamix. I have had my Vitamix for over 15 years. I call it a blender with the motor of a lawnmower. It's like so intense. I make green smoothies in it. I make superfood smoothies in it. I make fruit ice cream with no dairy, no sugar, salsas, soups, everything happens in my Vitamix. I know for some it's a big investment, and honestly, it's the appliance that has lasted the longest that I've never had to replace. And let me just come and give you one more link, special link that I have for you here. Is, hold on, okay, so to your side here, there should be a Vitamix cheat sheet. So if you're interested in getting a Vitamix and it's overwhelming, because I know their site is a little overwhelming, if it feels like, oh gosh, I don't even know where to start on there, I get it. I get a little overwhelmed by sites like that. Like, what am I supposed to choose? Which one? All of that. That Vitamix cheat sheet will give you sort of the lowdown, what you're looking for. And it talks about the different products that they have. I have an older version, which is totally great and has been functioning very well for, as I said, years. And they also have a reconditioned machine, and it's listed on there, and that's usually from people who have returned it, they didn't want it, or it was repaired. They're perfect, they're just like new. I've done reconditioned before too. So all that information is there for you. It's a great resource. It's something I often give to clients, but I wanted you to have it because I want you to have the tools that make this easy. And it's an important thing for us to talk about is your kitchen tools are important, right? I use glass. I use, good sharp knives. I have my Vitamix. I love my salad spinner, which has a bunch of water in it, sitting in the sink still. So salad spinner is a huge help for washing all the greens, which I did before we started, so that you didn't have to hear the water running the whole time. So I want you to invest in taking care of yourself. Invest in providing yourself with the tools that you need, right? If you were going to build a house, you would get some good tools so that your house was strong and good. Same thing, right? Get the tools that you need to take care of yourself. Okay, so we've got our containers, we've got our little absorbency papers in here, and then we want to start putting in vegetables. So I love cucumbers. I put them into every green smoothie, and I put a whole cucumber in. So I just take off the edges, and it depends. If you've got a Vitamix, you could literally put this whole thing in, and it would be fine. If you have a regular blender, you're going to have to cut it up smaller. So just for the sake of it, and just for fitting in here, I literally am putting a whole cucumber in each one. Now, the thing about cucumbers is if they're organic, I want you to keep the skin on. If they're not organic, take the skin off because it's holding all the pesticides in there. So definitely, but if they are organic, the skin is great. So many vitamins, so much nutrition in there. And cucumbers are so hydrating. So my mom would always tell me the story that when she was in Holland, they would, instead of sometimes taking a water bottle on their bikes, because Holland is a big biking country, they would just take a cucumber. Just grab a cucumber and take it with them and just munch a cucumber because there's so much water in it. The other reason I love having a cucumber in my green smoothies is that they get very creamy, and I really like a smooth smoothie. So, all right, so we've got a lot of cucumber, and I think actually a little much, so I'm going to just divide it a little bit. So I've got cucumber and all, and then we're going to put in spinach. So what I try to do is put the spinach just on the side. If I put the spinach right on top of the cucumber, the moisture of the cucumber is going to act like too much moisture on the spinach and help it get a little too slimy. So just give it its own little whirl on the side there. And you'll see, right, I'm taking like a serious handful. And the difference between a green smoothie, I often hear people say, yeah, I made a green smoothie, so it had banana and strawberry and mango and some cocoa or cacao and some blueberries, and then I put a handful of spinach. I'm like, that's a delicious smoothie. It's not a green smoothie. We're talking greens. We're talking nutrient dense. So big amounts of greens, right? Big handfuls. Okay, so spinach goes in. Now, the other thing I love to put in is parsley. So parsley, you can do any herb, but parsley is very, very nutrient dense. It has it's like tons of minerals. It's such an undersung hero as a green because it's often sitting as a garnish, but it is an incredible nutritious hit for your body. And one of the things that I really like to put in my green smoothies also is lemon. So the lemon and the parsley together have this great combination, sort of like a zingy, I don't know, it's like so yummy, it's incredible. Now, you saw with the cucumber I used a knife, but with the parsley I'm using a scissors. So good kitchen scissors is a great thing to have that you sort of reserve for herbs. And I'm just cutting right in there, snip, nothing fancy, right? Just getting it in there. And as I said, I washed everything before, so we're good to go. The other thing you'll notice, because I set up a little bit before we got started, I put the parsley in water. So if you're wanting to enliven your parsley, it's looking a little droopy in the fridge, stick it in water. Same thing I did here with my celery, okay? I've taken celery out of our fridge and it's like been droopy, put it in the water for a little while, and it perks right back up. It's really an easy, it's just like watering your plants, right? They get a little droopy in the house. Okay, so let's finish up with the parsley. I'm gonna do a bunch in here and a bunch in there. Okay, so now I've got like, you know, bonanza greens. All right, so I'm good with the greens. I want to talk for a minute about kale. So I have kale here. Everybody thinks kale when they think green smoothie, right? I totally get it. And I have to tell you honestly, it's not my favorite in green smoothies. I put a little bit in because I know it's nutrient dense, but kale has been touted as like the green, right? The only green. Parsley is equally as nutritious. Spinach equally as nutritious, right? So get variety in there. Don't just stick with the green, the kale. And if you have a thyroid issue, in the Deluxe Green Smoothie Starter Kit that I showed you about, and let me just actually go back to that in case you came on late. Let me give you the link to the Deluxe Green Smoothie Starter Kit in case you don't have it. Okay, so that should show you the link to the Green Smoothie Starter Kit. But in that, there's a special recipe if you have thyroid issues. Having a lot of cruciferous vegetables, not so much your friend. So there's other options. And people think, well, I can't be making a green smoothie without my kale. You can. It's fine. You can use the parsley. You can use the spinach. You can use the cucumber. And you can use even, and I'm not going to put it in mine tonight, but I just wanted you to see, if I'm really like so low on greens, I'll pull out the romaine lettuce, and that goes in. Romaine lettuce is incredibly nutritious, high in iron too. Okay, so, but let me say one more thing about spinach. So if, not spinach, kale. If you are, in fact, going to put the kale in, you can certainly put the whole kale leaf in, but I want to show you something that's really important. I'm going to come up close so you can see. So people are like, it takes too long to prep my kale, all that stuff. Yeah, not really. So here's what you do. Pinch, see this? Pinch in the top, first and thumb, and then you take your fingers, hold it tight, okay? And then you strip it off. And that's what you do. And then you throw it into the salad spinner, zip it up, and you're good to go. And it goes so fast when you do this. So you're just taking it, pull. Take it, squeeze hard, pull. And you go through a whole bunch of kale that way. So if you're putting it in or you're deciding, you know what, I want to make kale for dinner, that's how you prep your kale. Just an extra tip in there for you. Okay, the thing I do love to put in my green smoothies is bok choy. I adore bok choy. I find that it blends smoother than the kale. So I'll take one big bok choy leaf. And this, so bok choy, in case you're not familiar with it, it looks like this. And it also can look like baby bok choy, like small like that. And that's also really delicious, actually a little sweeter. But the big bok choy is really, really lovely too. So let's put, I'm going to put in one big stalk of bok choy in each one. Now, what I would do also is, if I had the little bok choys, I'd put like a whole bunch right into each one. So bok choy, now I'm down to the bits, the ends, so I'm going to put several. All right, so we got bok choy, we got spinach, we got cucumber, we got parsley, we got a lot of nutrition in there, right? But we're not done. Okay, so what else have I got? Okay, oh, I've got celery, yeah. And celery is so good for digestion, lots and lots of fiber. So again, and I washed all this before we started. Take the celery, and I already cut off the tops and I cut off the bottoms because I don't want the icky brown bits in my green smoothie. I just break it and put it in my container. I'm getting really full on these containers here. So you can't just put like a little container. We're talking like serious greens. Now, if you were going to sit down and eat this many greens for breakfast, I'm all for doing that if you don't like a green smoothie. But this is an amazing way to get green smoothies into your diet. Lots of greens into your diet. Okay, I am so psyched for my week coming up. Okay, so we got the celery, the blah, we're good to go. Now, these are the basics, right? We got the basics. We got the greens in. Now we get into the flavoring, into the toppings, kind of. So my standby forever and ever has been banana and lemon. Okay, that's what I did forever. Basically this, banana and lemon. Now, when you're making the green smoothies to get you going for the rest of the week, you don't actually want to add the banana because that's the one thing that's going to get really disgusting. And when you open day 5's green smoothie, your kit, it's not going to be nice looking. So what we want is you can put the lemon in, but leave the banana to put in at the end, right when you're doing it in the morning. So this is how it's going to go, right? You're going to have your whole green smoothie ready. In the morning, you're going to open up your Vitamix. You're going to just dump everything in, or your blender. You're going to add maybe about 2 cups of water, maybe 3 cups. It depends how liquidy you like it or how thick you like it. And then you're going to add your banana. Now, when you're first starting out with green smoothies, and if you have a little bit of a sugar habit, you're going to want to make your green smoothies a little sweeter. So you're going to want to put a whole banana in. You might even want to put a little mango in. You want to make it so it's delicious. But what you're going to find, I can promise you, you stick with those green smoothies, your taste for sugar is going to go down. And you're going to find you need less and less of the sweet in it. And you're going to start to enjoy more of the bitter, more of the greens taste. It may, if you're like, I promise, it happens. Okay, so we're talking toppings. So we've got the bananas going in. Now, if you don't want bananas, no problem, or you don't eat bananas, or you're suffering from a lot of constipation, and bananas are not a friend if you are dealing with constipation, there's a couple of other choices that are great. So one is pineapple. This pineapple is already cut up. You can buy fresh. You can cut it yourself. You can buy it already cut up in the store. I've even eaten it out of a can as long as it doesn't have sugar added, as long as it's pineapple just in its own juices. So this is going to go right in there. And I'm going to put it sort of next to the celery because the celery is going to not get so slimy as the spinach. So I'm sort of pairing things up here. So I'm doing a few with pineapple. Now, if I have a week of smoothies and I put pineapple in some of them, those are the ones I want to eat first. The banana, because I'm putting it in at the last minute, I'm going to leave for day 5, 6, and 7 of my week, right? The ones that have the more perishable stuff, I'm going to use that day 1, 2, 3. Make sense? Okay. The other thing you can do, and this is my current favorite, is pear. This is a beautiful red pear. And there's pear and mint. So I love that, right? So think about it like you're creating I don't know, an ice cream sundae, for lack of a better analogy. You've got your basics, right? This is your ice cream. And now we're on to toppings. So the fruit and then a nice hit of flavor. So a pear, some fresh mint is incredible. And sometimes I am adding also basil. That is delicious, or cilantro. Okay, so let me just talk about the lemon for a moment. Because that is gonna, when I've made green smoothies really in a hurry, and then I go, oh my gosh, it doesn't taste very good. And it's always because I left the lemon out. It starts to feel a little sludgy, and it feels a little like green soup, which to me, for some people might be great, me not so much. I put the lemon in, and the whole thing zings up, and I feel fantastic. The taste of everything comes out. The taste of the basil, or the mint, or the parsley, it kind of brings everything together. Now, let's talk lemons for a second. With the lemons, you want to peel them, right? Because it would be too bitter with all the pith. However, this skin has this amazing element to it called D-limonene. And it is incredible for detoxifying our body. So when I take the skin off, let me move this so you can see. When I take the skin off, I'm a little bit casual. I don't mind leaving a little yellow because that's going to help my body detoxify. And the reality is, as much as we eat clean, our society and our world is not so clean. So our body does need to have a mechanism for which to help get rid of the waste. So the lemon is a great one. So out it comes. And then that can go right in. If it doesn't fit in your container like mine, because it's not deep enough, I'm going to put 2, and I'm going to put them face up. So the moisture is up and not down on my greens. Okay, so that's in there. then that's going to go in each one. If you don't like, I got a question today from someone, isn't a whole lemon going to make it really sour? That's not my experience. I love that sweet and sour, like that lemon and banana or lemon and pear, delicious. But again, green smoothies are not an exact science. I want to inspire you to put a habit in place in your daily life that feels delicious for you, and I want to invite you to be experimental, right? To try it out, see what you like, right? So it might be the pineapple's your thing, it might be pears are your thing. Now, a couple other things. For some of us, we need a little hit of protein, and it depends, you know, who you are and what your body needs, because I'm a big believer in bio-individuality. That means that each of our bodies is a little different, so we don't have a one-size-fits-all diet. So some of us need a little more protein or a hit of something, you know, a little heartier. So there's a couple things to do. You can add hemp seeds into this. Hemp seeds are incredibly high in protein, high in omega-3s, really nice add-in. And you can also add, and this is something I add in every day to keep my thyroid healthy, and that is Brazil nuts. So I add 2 or 3 Brazil nuts every day into my green smoothie. Now, you can just throw them in, and they're done. You don't have to think about it. So the whole point of this exercise is for you to do it once, and then stop thinking about it, right? So that every morning you walk in, you open the fridge, there's my green smoothie kit, and throw it in the blender, and I'm done. That's what we want. So Brazil nuts for me, maybe not for you, but Brazil nuts in each one for me. Okay, so now let me look behind me and see if I got everything that I need in. All right, so we talked about pears. Oh, one more thing I want to talk to you about, coconuts. This is a little bit of an advanced thing, but I know some of you are like expert green smoothiers. So I'm a huge fan of young coconuts. I'll show you how to open them some other webinar or video, but coconuts are a great add-in. You open them up, you pour out the water right into your blender. This is something you kind of have to do the morning of. So it's a more of an advanced thing. And then you can scoop out the coconut meat, and it looks kind of like this. And it's delicious, and you put it in, and it makes it all yummy and creamy. It's incredible. Okay, so this is how you set up your green smoothies. You're going to put lids on all these. You're going to put them in the fridge, and they're going to be delicious, delicious, delicious for you and ready to go. Because my whole thing is let's give you ways of bringing the knowing into action, right? Let's take you from, okay, I know what to eat, bring it into the lifestyle level. How does this show up in my life? Because I know you know. It's now about doing. And if you want more support, I want to invite you into the Nourished Woman Nation. I'm going to give you that link right here so you can check it out. So let me do this. So amazing technology. All right, so there's the information for the Nourished Woman Nation. And I would love to see you in there. It's a powerful, powerful group of women. We meet once a month. We talk about your specific questions. There's a Facebook group so that we're connected. So if you have any questions about it, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. I hope you've loved this webinar, enjoyed all this information, and most important, I want you to put it into action. So please let me know. And, oh, one thing I totally forgot to do you have any questions? That's the cool thing about this webinar. So next to you is a little chat function. So let me check if there's any questions before I sign off. I completely forgot this part, so that's what happens when we do it for this the first time. So any questions? No, I don't think I see anybody, but it's also because I didn't announce it. So if you have any questions right now, quick, chat me up. And if not, here's what I'd like you to do. If you have questions, is let's get you going on the Facebook group. So let me put that there. So go into the Facebook group. and ask me questions there. I will be visiting. This is a free Facebook group. It's called Stepping into Deep Nourishment. It's because it's what I believe that women need. We need nourishment. We need support. We need to be helping each other and helping ourselves step into what we know makes us feel our best. So I want you to live a life you love in a body you love. All right. Goodbye, everybody. So great to be with you.